Hi, welcome to another exciting video that nobody will watch on my channel. Um, Last night I was thinking about something that I had done and decided that I would make a video about how I feel things. Um, I have borderline personality disorder, and people with personality disorders and mood regulating disorders don't feel things the way other people feel them. Um, they compare a lot of people with borderline as being third-degree burn victims. I don't feel that much. I mean, my feelings are very, very, very muted. See, like I can say that makes me mad, but I don't feel the mad. I feel like, okay, that's mad, but I'm not turning red in the face. My blood pressure's not going up. I'm not clenching my fist. I'm not going rigid. Um, I don't have that feeling like I'm going to explode. So I don't feel those things majorly. If I get upset, it's not like a major, um, like I'm not going to collapse. I'll drop a few tears and that's about it. Um, Occasionally I will cry some. Like I cried pretty good over the our hamster dying not too long ago. But um, when I was a kid, I would hyperventilate. I'd get so upset, and I haven't gotten that upset as an adult because as I've gotten older, or as a child, I was programmed or trained, however you want to put it, to suppress, to knock it down some notches. So, I'm going to share a little story with you about something that I did not too long ago. I wrote a letter to an old friend, and I know where the old friend works. I was having dreams about the old friend, and with borderlines, um, it's really hard for us to let go of people who we let in. Um, if we like you, it's really hard for us to deal with you not being around. So I had this dream, and I was like, I've got to get a hold of this person. And I've known where this person's at for years. So wrote a letter, sent it to their job, and waited. Week went by, and I said, well, maybe they're on vacation. It's summer, could be. Another week went by. They could still be on vacation. It'd be a 2-week vacation. No big deal. 3 weeks. Nope, they ain't on vacation. They are just not going to contact me. Every day, I would open up my email and see if I'd gotten an email. Nothing. One thing I can say that I definitely do feel is disappointment. And and so every time I open up my emails and I don't see a personal letter, it's just so for a while there, it was just like every day, it was just disappointment. And then I got to thinking, they got it. I know they did. I know they got it. I don't have to, there was no, oh, what if the post office locked? No, they didn't lose my letter. This person got my letter. They just don't want to write me back. So then I was like, okay, I feel indignant, like, why aren't they writing me back? Just like, uh, they've got no reason to not write me back. Well, and then there's guilt. Like, did I do something when things were done? Did I? Is that why this person is no longer in my life? Did I do something bad? And why wouldn't they? The indignation, it was kind of like, well, you could at least send me back a fuck you, you know, or something. Don't leave a girl hanging, and then I got kind of angry, and, I was like, that's just mean. That's just mean. I sat there and put everything down on paper, how much this person had meant to me, that I wanted to know that they were okay. How's life gone? I haven't seen you in 20 years. How's life going? Nothing back, and it's like, that's just mean. I wouldn't do that. Even if somebody like really ticked me off, I wouldn't do that. Of course, crazy. Brain doesn't store things like everybody else, so of course I'm gonna reply to somebody even if they did do something bad back in the day. I'm gonna say, well, that's not who they are today. Who you were 20 years ago. I mean, hell, can I even remember me 20 years ago? Fuck no, I don't know. I know stuff I did, but as far as I don't know who that girl was. I mean, I got a vague idea, but so there's all that, and then there's like the sadness that comes with it. That's like, well, do I not matter? Did I never matter? Do they even remember me? Did they forget me? And part of me knows that that's kind of, I don't know who forgets people, honestly. So I honestly know that they do remember me, but the sadness is still there that they remember me, and I'm not worth a reply. I'm not worth 2 seconds to send an email that says fuck you, because at least then I could be mad. And when I say mad, I'm just talking about, it's like you can ask me, how do you feel about this? And I'll say, that makes me mad, or that's funny. But I don't feel those things. It's like I can recognize how I'm supposed to feel. I can recognize that my mood level is somewhere close to that. But mad for me is not like I could rip somebody's head off, at least not in my waking hours. Now, when I dream, you wouldn't want to know me when I'm mad. I'm like the Incredible Hulk or something. I just Hulk out in my dreams. And when I cry, I freaking break. When something bad happens in a dream, I am broken. Um, and the emotion is normally so strong that I'll wake up with tears in my eyes. Uh, I feel when I'm dreaming, I feel like passion for things. Like if I'm happy, I am so happy. I am like bursting at the seams. And I just don't get that in my regular life. That's part of being a quiet borderline, is that I don't really feel, I can recognize how I'm supposed to feel, and I can recognize the slight, like there's a slight change. It's kind of like, I don't know how to say it. It's kind of like if you've got a, a still pond, and a lot of borderlines and regular people, an emotion comes through like a wave, like it breaks at the shore. Or even when you're in there, you can feel it just really coming. And that's how a lot of people feel stuff. Whereas with me, it's kind of like when you see like one of those little gnats land in the water. The water's like completely calm, and you see just that little bitty tiny flicker that tells you something was there. That's how I feel mad and happy. It's like that little flicker, or indignant, or any of those. except for boredom and disappointment, because Lord knows I can feel disappointment. I feel that. Um, but even sadness really doesn't even, I mean, it's more of, sadness is more of one of those ripple emotions, you can see the ripple coming, but it's just a ripple. It's not a wave. It's not a breaker. Um, and part of me wishes, because see, in my dreams, those emotions are like tsunamis coming through compared to what I feel in my regular life. And and that's why I think like when I get angry in a dream, it's scary. I don't want to think about, could I do that in real life? Am I just like a snap away from that? Is somebody going to push my buttons to that point? Because I mean, I know that like I can be pushed to the point of feeling anger, um to where it's more like a ripple than a break. And when that happens, I cry. Like I said, we don't express our emotions quite right. So when somebody really pushes me to where I can actually feel anger, it's still only a little bit more than what I would normally describe as that pisses me off. Because whenever I say that pisses me off, I always say, well, okay, I'm just irritated. Um, because it's kind of, it's more of irritation to me than anger, because anger to me is like, somebody getting mad and steam coming out of their ears, not this little, okay, that's anger, I'm mad about that. And feeling like, am I really mad, or am I just saying I'm mad because I should be mad? you know I don't know. And that's what a lot of us feel like. Like, I know with um borderlines who actually do feel their emotions and who feel them fiercely, a lot of times don't even know why they're mad. Like, they'll say, I'm just so fucking pissed right now, and if you say why, I don't know. Because they don't really know what set them off a lot of times. Now, I mean, sometimes there's a big thing and they do know, but sometimes they'll just feel something and they just don't know why they're feeling it. And it's almost like when you've got girls who have PMS, where all of a sudden they'll be crying and you'll say, why are you crying? I don't know why I'm crying, I'm just so sad. Well, that's how it is for a lot of people with mood regulation disorders, is that they will feel things and not know why they feel those things. Or like, they'll be laughing at a funeral, and it's because of our weird wiring that we do stuff like that. That's why whenever I see um true crime shows, and they'll say like, this person wasn't acting like a person who had just lost their husband or just lost their kid, and I was like, can you really say how a person's supposed to act? I mean, you can say how you think they should be acting. Like, if your husband dies, you're supposed to be devastated. Well, if that person has weird wiring in their head, they just might do stuff that people would consider very odd, because they don't know exactly how to process that. It's difficult to process sometimes. And I know somebody else who's borderline, who their spouse died, and a month later they were going on dates and such. And some people would consider that to be um, weird behavior, suspicious behavior. And I just think it's like, I think that this person has abandonment issues, and I can't say that, like, if my husband died tomorrow, I can't say that I would be wearing, black and be in mourning for like a year or so before I dated somebody else, or 2 years or 3 years. It might be a month, I can't say because I don't know mentally what that would do to me. And nobody knows what it's going to do to them. And you can think, well, I'd be devastated. Well, you can be devastated and still do some, I mean, devastation, that kind of heartache can send a perfectly sane person, as if that exists, into a downward spiral where they're doing all kinds of crazy shit. I mean, so imagine somebody who's already crazy. You cannot predict what an event will do to another person because we're unpredictable in general. We just know how we think people should act. And that doesn't necessarily work with how we do act. I mean, all you got to do is look around the world and you'll see there's lots of people that don't act as they should or as we think they should. And then other people, I mean, people think that this guy should have been burrowed into his house, but the thing is that he might have processed stuff quickly. It might have been the right choice for him. I mean, I can't say that he's heartless or anything because I don't know. And that's okay. He's still my friend. I don't understand everything. And you can't just ask somebody, well, hey, that was pretty quick. What's going on? Were y'all on the outs anyway? Or what? You can't ask people that. It's none of your business. And it's none of your business on, like how long they can be alone. Some people can be alone for the rest of their lives and some people can't stand it. I mean, they just can't live like that. To each his own. But that's how I feel my emotions. I don't. I feel them to a degree to where I can pinpoint what they are and I can pinpoint what I should be feeling and all of that, but I don't actually feel the things as much, like not to a degree. It's kind of like a tap instead of a slam. So that's me. Have a good night.